If you think about it, no one really knows you. In fact, what I'm about to share with you today, you might not even know about yourself. What I mean by this is that no one is there with you every single day as the thoughts are going nonstop. And no one is there writing these down, compiling them, organizing them, and then handing you the list at the end of the day so that you can review them for yourself. So thoughts are happening nonstop. And even if you become really great at meditating, the thoughts don't stop. You just simply begin to accept them for what they are and watch them with awareness. Now, if you're here, it is because you are on a journey of self discovery, self development, and there's likely a ping inside of you that is calling you because you want to help other people as well. Now, this is what I do all day, every day, in helping others. And I am so excited because we are going to demystify this thing called thoughts. We're going to break them down so that you can recognize them for what they truly are. And this is going to give you room to breathe, more freedom, and a better chance of giving yourself grace as we all go on this journey of life. If you are new here or we haven't met yet, my name is Amanda Rangel and I am co-founder at IntraAwareness. You will find me in all of our online trainings and courses, as well as I have my own one-on-one life coaching clients and have been doing that for the past 14 years. So let's head into the classroom and dig in. When it comes to thoughts, you're going to find disrupting thoughts that are disconnected, but then there are also enhancers, so connected thinking. We're going to talk about 3 different categories that can be used to break down the world of thoughts. First are psychological programs that were given to us. Second are neo and ego. One of them gives you thoughts and one does the thinking, or you can consider it is the one thinking. Third is going to be energies that come to us in a way that we sometimes will interpret as thoughts initially, but it's actually energy. There is divine or godly energy, or intrusive or devil energies. You know, the image of a little angel or a little devil on a person's shoulder on TV shows? This is what I'm talking about. Before we dig into the details, I would love for you to let me know what is a reoccurring thought that you have in your life that is either helpful or unhelpful. Go ahead and go to the comments and pop it in now. Psychological programs are automatic programs within the mind. Now, during the imprint years, which is age 0 to 7, these are things that are unconsciously given to you and accepted as your own before you even have the conscious awareness that you can reject this information. These programs come from parents, teachers, your environment, the people that are around you, religion, television programming. And what happens when we hear this in the imprint years is that it simply just goes straight in and becomes a part of the programs of our life. The more that we hear the same thing over and over, the stronger that this thought will be embedded into our being. Isn't that absolutely fascinating? This past week, I've worked with 2 separate clients that have had thought processes that were detrimental to them, to their growth. And within the sessions with them, we talked about breaking down and seeing where did that come from. Often it comes from a parent, and it'll be something that you actually hear in their voice. And I just want you to know that if you have thoughts like this, that when you try to expand your energy, maybe boost your business, go for a dream or a goal in your life, and you hear a thought of a parent saying, our family doesn't do that, you're never going to be able to do that. It could be directly or indirectly. You hear that voice, just know that that is not you. That is not your thought. You do not have to identify with it in any way. And so much freedom can come from this when you see it for what it is out in front of you and put the divine in between you and it. This creates space and starts to give you room to not identify with it any longer. Now, all things that parents or teachers say are not negative. Some are extremely positive. I'll say one thing that my mom always told me from a really young age was I'm great at speaking in front of people. And the reason she told me this over and over and over again is because she was terrified of speaking in front of people. So she wanted me to always think that I was very good at it. So naturally, when we get into third or fourth grade and I have to do those first speeches, I had no problem doing it, zero nerves, and could get up in front of anybody and say anything because I had this automatic program running that it's just simple and it's easy. And if I mess up, that's okay, no big deal. Next up is the neo and the ego. Now, I want to be really clear about this when it comes to thoughts, because the neo is the word that we use for who you truly are. And the neo can't actually think. It does the thinking. So it is the one thinking. This is a manual process. So you must actually call in and be connected with your highest and truest self. And that is what is going to help you. And this is what people who are geniuses are very, very talented at something very specific, because they have thoughts that come to them, but it's not actually thoughts. It's the neo directly providing information. I know this is very technical, but I just wanted to go ahead and plant that seed for you guys, because there are times when it just feels like a divine presence is there. And that is something that we call the higher self. We've just labeled it the neo for simplicity's sake, because on the opposite side of it, there is the ego. And the ego is what gives you thoughts. So this is the automatic monkey mind that feels like it's infinite and going to be never ending, but it's actually finite, because the ego in this case comes through disconnected parts. And this is what I really want to focus on this time, at this time, because the disconnected thoughts that come in through the ego, through ego parts that are disconnected, are the ones that are going to be the most hurtful, the most harmful, and the ones that push away people, including yourself, because it doesn't feel good to anybody. It doesn't feel good to anybody to be around you. It doesn't feel good for you to be you when this disconnection is there and these disconnected thoughts are occurring. Now, can the ego be cute as well? Yes, absolutely. There can be parts of the ego that are younger and maybe more innocent. But again, this is getting into the weeds with this. If you want to know more about the ego or the neo, go ahead and use the search bar in this channel on YouTube, and you will find a huge variety of videos where Jeremiah is breaking down into detail the characteristics of the ego and the neo, what they're all about, what they do, how they survive, how they thrive, and also how you can dissolve parts of the ego one by one, so what seems infinite becomes finite. And the third thing that we are going to talk about when it comes to thoughts, what seems like it's thoughts, is actually energy. And because this is not taught in school, this is not taught in religion, this is not talked about by humans in general, from what I've found, except in our community and here on this channel. These are energies that will come and feel like they're you. They'll be categorized and generalized and put into the same container as thoughts. But when you bring more awareness to this, you'll realize that there's actually an energy to it and there's a vibration to this. For people who are sensitive to energy or have worked with energy around themselves or others before, this one is going to be a really good one for you. So energies can break down into divine energies or intrusive or undivine energies. That's just the easiest way to put it. I'm going to start with the intrusive ones because that might be what has brought you here today. Intrusive energies will come and they will be very, very persistent. And they will come through fear, they'll come through hurt, they'll come through your insecurities. And they'll come through parts of the ego that are not connected to God. And it will feel like internal voices. A lot of times when I work with clients, it could be something that feels like it's coming up through your feet, through their ground, up through your belly, and up to where the thought processes occur around the brain. Oftentimes, if it's in the morning, it could seem like it swoops in from the right side or the left side of your brain, of your head. But you'll notice if you put a quick pause on any thoughts that are coming to you when you first wake up in the morning that bring you down. A lot of times it is going to lead back to these intrusive energies that just simply have access to you because of something else that needs attention, that needs to be worked on. The great news is that once you bring attention to the fears, the insecurities, the hurt that you have, if you're conscious of them or not conscious of them, then when you work on that, the portal for this type of energy to come through closes and you get to move on with your life. And quite frankly, even if my clients experience, as well as myself and a lot of people that I know, once it's fully healed, that part, and those energies can no longer come through, it's like it never happened because there's so much healing there and there's so much divine there that things are just fundamentally different. Again, this is a really big, important part of life coaching, specifically IntraAwareness, therapeutic, the transformational life coaching that we do, because we're able to help to identify these things and upgrade them in a very gentle way, or whatever way that you ask for. Now, on the other side, and this is the side I love to talk about, is the divine or godly energies that come through in your life. You can believe it or not. Either way, both of these things are happening, the intrusive and the divine. And the more that you can recognize it, the better off that you will be. So divine energies are going to feel like a gentle little voice. Again, this is something that you need to ask to come in. It will come when it's needed, but the more you ask, the more that it will come. It's like calling a best friend on a regular basis versus just calling it once a month or once every 6 months. The more you build the relationship with these divine energies, the more insights you're going to get in life, the more flowing things will be, the more automatic your actions will be that lead you in the direction towards what you want. And so divine energies are going to feel gentle, but at the same time, they're going to be very calm and very clear. Sometimes divine energies can be absolute. There's still a gentleness to the vibration of it. There's still a love and a light to the vibration of it. But if you need to do something and you are not listening, the divine energies will and can, if it's a connected masculine divine energy, come through very powerfully. And it is completely up to you whether you listen or not. I highly recommend listening. But these are the thoughts and the feelings that are going to feel absolutely amazing. And when you listen to this, your life is going to flow in really, really beautiful ways. So I'm wondering this. Out of the psychological programs, the neo and the ego, and divine or intrusive energies, what do you allow most in your world and your life? What thoughts and programs or energies are occurring the most abundantly for you? I can tell you, on one hand, things will feel wonderful and your life will feel flowing. And if you allow things on the other hand to occur, life is going to be a bit more of a struggle. There could even be things such as depression or suicidal thoughts. But just know that that's not you. It really isn't. And you do have the option to create a gap, create a wedge when you create awareness and not identifying with those things any longer, and moving them further away. How do you do this? You need to have a connection of some kind with something higher than yourself. Now, you could call it God. It could be Jesus. It could be Mother Mary. It could be the peace that you feel when you're out on a walk in nature and there's just an expanded awareness around you. Call that in the moments when you need it most and ask it to step inside of you, around you, in between you and the thought, around the thought, and inside of the thought or the energy. When you do this, you'll notice that anything that is less than positive will start to dissolve. And anything that is positive will be really, really happy that you sent this energy their way. So the next time that somebody asks you, what are you thinking? Or you see on social media, what's on your mind? Take a moment and pause and ask yourself, what is on my mind? What am I actually thinking? And what is just mind chatter that's occurring that I'm picking up on and claiming as my own? You do have the power to choose your thoughts and have those thoughts work in your favor. Now, if you want more help with this, I highly recommend reaching out to either book one-on-one coaching with myself, Jeremiah, or any one of our amazing coaches that have graduated from our therapeutic life coach training. Also, if you're interested in becoming a coach yourself, I'd be really happy to talk with you to see if what we have to offer is a great fit for you being able to help the people that you're meant to help. If you're interested in that, you can watch this video here or check out the comments and book a time on my schedule to chat one-on-one. I hope that this video was extremely powerful for you and brought many insights to create more freedom, more breathing room, and more grace in your life. Until next time, I'll see you then.